Hey, welcome to North Idaho Experience Podcast for the people of North Idaho, and those who are North Idaho curious. In today's episode, Dave and I sit down with Noah Johnson from Levity Theatre. They're an improv theater group right here in Coeur d'Alene. Honestly, I didn't know if I was going to enjoy this conversation, but it turned out to be one of the funniest and most enjoyable conversations that we have had to date. So hope you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're thinking about making the move up here, give our real estate team a call. We would love to help you make that move to North Idaho. All right, well, let's fire it up, guys. Noah Johnson, welcome to the show. He's repping Levity Theatre today. He's got the sweatshirt on to prove it. Man, we connected via email. I appreciate that. I always like when people reach out and, have a cool story or something they want to talk about.
People reach out to you?
Give us a holler. Yeah, not to sell homes
Everybody
anymore.
just reaches out to me like, hey, can you get me in contact with Seth?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing something right.
I'll send you
I'm
Seth's
doing
number.
my job, David. I'm doing what you hired me to do.
I'll send you Seth's job when I hire.
I need to give you a visual of what I walked into this morning, Noah. Dave was meeting with a client in the room, and I walk in, and Dave has rather unique facial hair right now, right? Is that, what is that, a Fu Manchu? What do you call that?
It's freaking handlebars, dude.
Handlebars. Okay.
Handlebars.
It's like the Hulk Hogan.
It is very Hulk Hogan-ish.
A tribute?
I was going to
perhaps?
bleach it out
In
as
memoriam?
a tribute, but we didn't.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
So I walk in, he's meeting a client who happens to have the exact same facial hair.
No way.
Yes, and also like a bitchin' mullet.
He does. Oh, his hair is so
But probably
awesome.
his shirt was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell that?
Juiced aviator. So he's going to get his commercial license, and he is ripped, too. He was a fireman down in Colorado. Decided to go into commercial license. Yeah, it's juiced aviator.
I looked at him and I'm like, you can fly me anywhere,
Please
bro.
fly my plane.
I would feel more comfortable with that dude flying me than some, square bear all dressed up and his little gear.
He looked awesome.
Give me that dude with his shirt sleeves rolled up. Yeah, let's go. Shout out. That was Jesse, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Shout out to Jesse.
Noah.
Good shit,
Hey.
bro.
All right, man. I don't know
Dave.
anything about you, man. This is good,
Sweet.
actually.
Good.
This is
Great.
typically, if you watch the podcast, this is how it works.
Yeah.
Seth sets everything up, and then I just roll in, and I'm like, who are you?
He has no idea. This is part of the shtick. I love it because he doesn't know if he's gonna roll in and meet a guy that has a improv theater or a sniper or who knows,
Or both.
FE team pilot. Like,
Maybe.
we've had it all. Maybe you've done all of that.
Maybe I've done all of it.
Yeah.
Maybe I've done none of it. Or maybe I've done all of it on stage in an improv stage. Who knows?
Noah, where are you from?
Hello. I live in Coeur d'Alene. I'm originally from Bellingham, Washington, which is on northwest Washington. And I moved here in 2021 in September, specifically to start the improv theater. So.
Really? So you started an improv theater up here?
Yeah.
By yourself or with friends or a group or what?
By myself. So right now we're more of a theater company at this time, and we don't have a physical location, but we've been actively looking for one for a long while. So we have our eyes set on downtown, and hopefully something will pop up at some point. So it's hard.
But that would be cool.
It would be cool.
What
There's
about
no
the
entertainment
piano
venue.
bar or underneath Honey?
Honey?
Yeah. I've connected with both of those
That's
people.
a cool venue, both of them.
Yeah. There's issues with both of them, mostly being with the piano bar. It's too over. It's like overbooked all the time, every single night. And then the other one, they kind of have closed it down to entertainment, more just do private events now, which really sucks. But I've reached out to them, and they said that they would be interested in hosting some shows in the fall potentially. So I'm going to need to talk that up a little bit more. But
you've obviously how old are you?
24. Thank you for asking.
Okay. And so you're into theater, you're into improv.
Yep.
Improv when I was in high school was really
here we
big,
go.
right? Well, no, it was.
Yeah.
I was part of an improv team.
Dave's
This is why
world.
this is why I'm here.
You said you were on an improv team?
Yeah, I was part of an improv team.
yeah.
Now, obviously, Whose Line Is It was huge back in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
A lot of that improv and comedy theater has kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
You don't see it as much anymore. And I think it's something that I've never been to a good, I'll just always say good
Great.
than anything, a good improv
Great.
where everybody didn't love it, right? Like a good improv people can go to and they can see the comedy in it. They enjoy it. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's not something that people are accustomed to.
Yeah.
And so it makes them laugh and they have a great time with it. So if you're looking for venues, a lot of people have not seen even that show, Whose Line Is It, or they've heard of it, right? Having the opportunity, have you ever thought about doing anything in the park?
Yeah, actually, so I recently touched base with the Coeur d'Alene Downtown Association to potentially do a little tiny outside show in that little Sherman Square, that small little concrete slab.
Right off Sherman. Yeah.
And they said that permits are very, very hard to get. So I might get one at some point, and I might try to do that work, but I don't really have the time.
Concrete square where?
It's right
Off
on
of
Sherman.
Sherman.
They just recently redid it.
Yeah.
There's some concrete benches. There's a big mural on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it right next to Hudson's?
No,
No.
it's on the other side of the
no,
street.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's next to Bear Paw.
That
Yes,
one, that
right
one
next
would
to
be
Bear Paw.
tough.
Yeah.
But McEwen Park and
Yeah.
City Park would be a lot easier.
And you're
Yeah.
going to get a ton of foot traffic in there too.
Yeah.
Or I don't know any. Admittedly, I know nothing about this world. I don't
Right.
even know what we're talking about. But
We'll talk about that.
What about the amphitheater in the Fort Grounds, Fort Sherman, that park?
I didn't even know that existed.
There is one.
Yeah,
and
I'll
the
take a look at that.
backdrop is the city beach and then the lake.
That would be cool.
and it's an amphitheater.
Oh, are you talking about the band shell?
Yes.
Oh, got it. Okay. I
Yes.
thought that was just Coeur d'Alene City Park.
He called it an amphitheater, but it's a band shell.
It's a band. It's a
Yeah,
band
see,
shell.
I am
Not in
showing
this world.
my lack
yes,
of knowledge.
no, that's great.
Right.
So-
yeah,
Okay.
and just to clarify, we currently do shows. We do shows every single week at First Presbyterian Church. So right
Okay.
now we have a temporary location. We had a location before that was in the basement of a really cool building. But they recently sold the
Which
building.
is good
so they
because
kicked me out.
Presbyterians are funny.
Yeah.
It's a funny group of
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
This, so.
hilarious people.
Do you-
But right now we're
Okay.
actively looking
You
for
got it.
like a permanent space to create an event venue in
Right.
downtown. So
Have you
we're-
talked to the Mormons?
I haven't talked. Well, I have kind of. One of my team members is LDS, and they do not do anything for profit.
Yeah, they're not funny at all.
They're not. They're not funny.
That
Except
was a
for
joke.
except
that you would
for
go to, yeah.
yeah, except for one of my team members, Derek Jones.
See, some of them are
he's
funny.
he's very funny.
Not in church.
No.
No, he
Do
goes to church.
I don't
okay,
know.
so
Who
for
knows?
those that don't know, what is improv?
All right, what a great question.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
this
That's
is
a good.
good.
Now that we've rambled for about
First
however
step.
long. Yes.
What is improv?
Yes. Okay. So improv is short for improvisation, which basically means everything that we do is made up on the spot, and it's specifically what we do is comedy, and it's more like sketch comedy rather than stand-up comedy.
This
so
is
it's
literally my daily life.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything
Yeah.
I do is made up right on the spot, like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I try to be funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in, man.
Great.
I'm in.
Well, I'm gonna crush your dreams right now. A couple of things. One, the first thing I teach anybody in any improv class is not about trying to be funny. It's not about being funny. It's about
Okay.
being authentic, being real, and it's really about listening. So it's about listening to your scene partner and building off of it. And so the way that I describe it is it's unscripted theater or unscripted sketch comedy, like Saturday Night Live or things
Okay.
like that, or the Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Right.
That you said. So.
There's a natural progression with improv where it's a development of a scene.
Yes.
I think when you hear the stories, and Seinfeld was not made that way. They say it was a show about nothing.
Yep.
Jerry has debunked that and said that's not what it was. But it's just normal day routine watching something develop. And I think if you take a snapshot of your day, there's some pretty funny elements
Yeah.
of your day. That
It
you
would
can't
be like
capture.
if you came in and watched our team throughout the day
100%.
doing what we do.
Yeah.
It would be ridiculous.
Because
It'd be a great
we have
sitcom.
we have a lot of characters and we build off of each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wildly inappropriate at times though, and I think that
Yeah.
might be where we'd get ourselves in trouble if we took it out there.
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How does one get started? How did you get into
What
this?
a great question.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I'm
Sam.
good for those.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the question. So I started in college when I was 16.
Wait. You went to college at 16?
Community college. Washington has
Hey,
a really awesome.
Don't downplay yourself, bro.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
I was 16, I was like, breathing through my mouth and like barely able to function as a young adult. And you're in community college.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Dave.
Washington has a really cool program. One of the only good things about Washington, they have a program called Running Start, which basically allows you to take college starting in your junior year of college or high school. So I was homeschooled up until then. I then started doing that. I got a 2-year associate's degree in visual communications or graphic design. And while I was there at Whatcom Community College, shout out Orcas, they had an improv club, and so I joined that. And,
Had you ever done anything like that before?
No.
How nervous were you walking into that for the first time?
It was not A little bit. I was more excited than anything because I've always kind of wanted to do something like that. But the main thing that really got me in there was I had a friend named Emily, and she and I, we saw it as we're like improv club. What's this? And we're like, I'll join it if you join it. And then we both joined it, and we both fell in love with the art form. And so she actually became the club president, and we created for the first time in like 8 years at that school a performance team, and we did shows every quarter, and it was a lot of fun.
What was the draw for you? The performance, the people, the not coworkers, whatever, co-performers.
Yeah, I think it's because back in like when I would go to like summer camp and things like that, we'd have small little things where you'd make up a sketch or make up a little skit or something and present it. And I've always enjoyed that. I've always enjoyed connecting with an audience and creating something for an audience. And so that was always my goal, was to get in front of people and perform. And then when I did my first show, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted to do. So it was it was that. And when that's your first initial thought of like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to create something interesting, that's like the first thing. And of course you get to do that. But what I found that was very unexpected too is the fact that improv has so many applicable life skills, like the ability to be in the moment and be present and react authentically and be yourself and not care about what is going to happen next, but what is happening now. And those are the biggest things that I think improv teaches. Because one thing that I say, because I teach improv as well as perform, a thing that some people claim improv does is help you be better at quick thinking or becoming a quicker thinker. Sure. And I don't think that at all. No. Okay. I think because there's people who are witty and are smart and funny and just naturally, and that's their thing. Their brain works in a specific way that allows them to be funnier on their feet. But what improv teaches you is to accept the present moment rather than feeling like what you have and what you're doing is not good enough. So really, instead of teaching quick thinking, it allows you to adjust quickly, which I guess in a way is quick thinking, but it's not going to necessarily teach you how to say something funnier or come up with something funnier or come up with a better idea. It's about taking whatever idea you have and have started and making it into something good.
And it is definitely an art form.
Yes.
Because, just speaking on trying to be funny sometimes, like you can push it too far. There's a fine line, right? Where you're like, all right, that fucker's trying too hard, and it falls flat.
Yep.
So I could see that being an art form.
Yeah. 100%. You even look at stand-up comedy. The funniest stand-up comedians are just replicating real life events.
Yep.
They have the ability to look at something and say, okay, that shouldn't happen that way. That's something that's unusual, but yet we always, they pick out these unique characteristics of everyday life that when you really think about it, you go, why is that? Brian Regan. Have you ever heard of Brian Regan?
I have, yes. I've seen some of his stuff.
He is a clean comic, and that guy, I don't know if he has a joke up his sleeve. I'm pretty sure he is just telling you stories about his life where you're like, that doesn't make sense. That's funny. And so I think that's good. But yeah, like you said, accepting the present moment.
Yeah.
When you try to be funny in improv, it breaks down the scene for sure.
Yep.
Because you're trying to force the scene in a direction you want it to go because you want to get a laugh.
Yep.
When the truth is, if you develop the scene just because of the randomness, and I'm sure you guys do a lot of reach outs to the audience.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, what's our scene? Where are we at? What year is it? What, who is this guy? Whatever else it is. What's his profession? And then all of a sudden you have this collection of odd things that wouldn't typically come together, and you have to make something of it.
Yeah.
It feels like it's probably very exhilarating because you don't know. There's an element of the unknown as you're going into it. Have you failed many times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Figured, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing about the art form, another thing that it teaches is being able to accept failure. Because the thing is, at this point, I very rarely fail, I guess. Sometimes because what you get to a point in your improv career, because I've been doing this for 5 years, and so or 6 years, 2018, however long is that? Is it 2025? 7 years?
Yeah.
Frick.
7.
Whoa.
You're
what?
Up, dude. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Time
well,
flies.
anyway, it'll be
Getting
a
old.
decade soon. But no, so I've been doing this for 7 years, and the thing is, there's a point at which, like, at the beginning, you're just trying to figure it out. You're trying to how do you build something? And a big core concept is yes and. If you guys, I know you've heard this because you did improv.
School me.
Yes. So yes and is this concept where And it can apply to improv, but also a lot of other things, just collaboration and working together. But basically, it's the idea of if someone puts an idea out there, you say yes to it, you accept it. Not necessarily literally saying yes, but more of like an acceptance of the idea. And then you say and you build on top of it. So it's this idea of a collaborative workflow where no matter what you say, I'm going to accept that it is the reality, and then I'm going to build on top of it. I say that's an awesome idea and build on top of it. And so in that, sometimes especially when you're in like a younger improviser, I guess, something that can be very challenging is someone says no to your idea. When you're taught, you have to say yes, and these people also are taught that you have to say yes. But then you get to a point where every single thing is a yes. Like I come in and I say, I'm your doctor. And then they say, no, you're not. You're my mom. And it's like, yes, but I still love you. And then you build off a thing where now you're both the doctor and the mom, or you are a mom pretending to be a doctor, right? So, but it can be really, and whatever that is, right? And again, that was a stupid idea I just threw out there, but I think that premise could definitely be built out into something comedic. And so, it's really about taking the present moment and building off of it. And something I always say is the thing that we can create together is always going to be better than the thing that one person could do themselves.
Bro, I feel like I need to be writing these down, dude.
You're recording
it.
You're listen to it later.
Oh, damn you with your smartness.
Yeah, it'll be on Spotify soon.
This is the neat thing. Like when I brought up Brian Regan, when you go to one of his shows, he'll do the same skit over and over, right? You hear the same jokes. When you go to improv, it's always different. You could go to the Presbyterian church.
Yep.
Yes. To have a
Which
laugh.
I would like to say we're not doing improv on behalf of the First Presbyterian Church. We are Levity Theatre, and they happen to have a space that's available every Friday night,
which is a hilarious space.
Yes,
it's hilarious.
Actually, you're right. There's some comedy right there.
Yeah, right.
Probably play on that.
Yeah. So, the fact is that you can go to their show every single week, and it's completely different
every single time.
And that's what I love about it. Like, especially when you bring in the audience. I love it when there's characters like, "Who are you? I'm a doctor." Okay, where are we? We're in an elevator. I'm a doctor in an elevator. Okay. And who are you? You're an avid hunter. I'm like, okay. And now you're trying to collectively pull it around. My phone again. Like this just never wants to stop.
Could you
call you back?
Yeah.
It's on silent.
This is actually would be excellent improv with Dave. Just Dave.
Just Dave.
Just Dave.
Just Dave.
No, but I love that. And it's fun when you start talking about it, because the unique thing that I talked about with improv, we did an improv show in high school, and one of these guys, Tim Walls, a little chubby white dude.
No relation to the previous guy. Okay, cool.
But who
was also a chubby white dude, by the way. You guys say he was a chubby little white dude.
Who?
Tim Waltz.
Tim Waltz?
Oh, Tim Waltz.
Yeah.
Okay, no, Tim Waltz.
Waltz.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, completely different. Sorry, it sounded completely different.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
So in high school, we were putting together a show, right? And he goes, "Hey, I got an idea." I'm like, "All right, what's up?" He goes, "I want to do a skit. I want to do 5 minutes of nothing." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I got this idea. Check this out. I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to bring a timer with me, a little clock, and I'm going to chair, and I'm just going to do 5 minutes of nothing and just stare at the crowd." I'm like, "Tim, what?" He's like, "Well, trust me, it's gonna be
feel
awesome."
like that killed.
I have never seen an audience laugh so hard in my life. He comes out there and he tells them, he just goes, "Hey, so this next skit is called 5 minutes of nothing. The team was avidly against it. And I'm going to do 5 minutes of nothing."
Perfect setup.
And he sets a timer, sits down, and stares at the crowd. And does not smile. Just straight face. And the first 10 seconds, people are giggling. They're like, "Ha." Then there's a little bit of silence. Then you hear a couple more giggles. At about 45 seconds, the entire theater was in an absolute, nothing was happening.
Nothing.
There was nothing happening. And he's just staring at everybody. And I have never seen it. Now, the whole 5 minutes did not go just him sitting there. He sat there for 5 minutes, but we'd have people walk behind him and just kind of, there was stuff happening.
Right.
Somebody came out and slid a dime in front of him, and he looks down and he looks back and there's nobody there, and he just continues. I mean, there was other stuff, but it was so funny, but it was so unique. You're like, what?
That would be incredibly difficult to sit there.
Oh my goodness,
Stone face, right?
Yeah.
And he was so good at it.
That would be an eternity.
Yeah, it was a while.
Good for him for
it was a
and
great
that's
skit.
why he ran for vice president.
There we go.
Yeah. That's great.
And his son cried the whole time.
And his son cried the whole time.
Dave has like a lot of shtick, man. Like when we go out.
Shtick, yeah.
Shtick.
I know what you mean.
Right?
I like having shtick.
He's
Yeah.
got shtick.
Yeah, shtick's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
it was
like,
a compliment.
When we're out,
I'm in.
when we're out, for dinner or whatever, having a few drinks, even when we're with clients, I'm gonna censor this, but Dave has a shtick that I know in particular, and I will always find a way to set him up for this particular thing. It's wildly inappropriate. It's the same thing every time, but there's some subtle nuances. Like you play with it a little bit.
It's real life. All of it is real life. It's just a situation that I think is important to me.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And I'm just gonna say it. Fuck it. That's having a clean and dry butthole. And he was a firefighter for a long time, right? So just know that if you're listening, it's a firefighter thing.
You will be out on the line as a fireman, and I
Here
drink
we go.
Metamucil.
See, I just said
no, I'm not. No, I'm not even going into it. I'm just saying.
It is a real life thing.
No, but I drink Metamucil every night. And I'm like, it's amazing.
Every night.
Every
Yes.
night. I
Wow.
take because when I was a fireman, if you were out on the line and you had to take a dump, you did not
You're
want a
screwed.
triple wiper or 4 wipes or anything else. You wanted to
He
make sure
swears
that
by this.
you had a clean cutoff. So I still take Metamucil, and I tell people, I'm like, it's so clean, you can probably put the toilet paper back when you're done with it. You check it, and you're like, that's still clean. And so he gives me a hard time because I said I have 2 rules, and I have to have a clean and dry butthole. So if it gets moist outside, I have to go white. I carry wet wipes with me. He just made a meme with me carrying wet wipes.
I did.
You did, which is hard for me because I'm on a septic now. And now I'm trying to readjust. So now it's like bathroom, shower, wipe. And now I'm good.
You shower every time you poop.
Sometimes.
Every night.
It depends whether or not I've had Metamucil, but I just make sure that
Every night, though.
You
It's
just-
every night.
Every night.
I don't know why. Some people are like, that's gross. And I'm like, you know what's gross? Not a clean and dry butthole.
You know
That's
what
what's actually
what he
gross.
has in his fridge every time we go to his house? You'll never guess. I'll tell you.
Can I guess?
I'll give you 2 guesses.
we're
Okay,
gonna tomorrow
2
night.
guesses? Okay. Kombucha.
No, but good. Close,
Dang it.
Close-ish, kind of.
I can't even.
this.
I
It's not
can't.
this.
It is a liquid.
Wow. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, beer.
Yeah, well, probably has that too.
Well,
Probably
sweet.
beer.
I was not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
That was the important thing.
It's an odd thing. It's something I never have in my fridge. It is prune juice.
Oh,
In like
you're
a gallon.
old.
Yeah. See?
That's
there comes
great.
the old thing again.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Is this like, did we just run a commercial?
For prune juice and
No,
Metamucil?
hopefully we're running a commercial
Yeah, it's
here
like
for
a-
the past
yeah,
2
Sponsored by-
minutes.
sponsored by-
Metamucil and
sponsored
prune
by
juice?
Metamucil, yeah.
Metamucil and prune juice.
So funny thing about prune juice. So that is my go-to whenever I want to challenge somebody. So
True story.
In the fire department, we used to have a prune juice challenge. We had 3 bathrooms and we had 7 people at the station.
Oh wow.
Okay, so right before dinner, we would go into the kitchen. Everybody would have a 32-ounce bottle of prune juice. Yeah, Sunsweet,
can't even have 32
the
ounces.
non-sugar. It's too much sugar if not. And then everybody would down it. And then the last person to go into the bathroom won. Oh,
Did they win though? Because it sounds like they didn't. It sounds like they lost.
they is me.
Everybody
That's right.
loses.
They is
Everybody
me.
loses in this game.
It sounds like the
was
first person to
rough.
go into the bathroom is the one who wins, and everyone else
The
loses.
person that lost was the person that realized that they were next up for the call. And
Yeah.
you got a 911 call.
God.
Oh my goodness.
It's happened.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
no.
That's a shitty
We have
situation.
pulled over
Yeah,
on the way to the
literally.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, wow.
So what are we
Yeah.
doing tomorrow night, Dave?
So tomorrow night, we
Prune,
have a
prune,
surprise.
prune.
I can say where we're going because we're telling the kids tomorrow night, right?
yeah, they
Yeah.
won't hear
They're
this.
on there. So
They won't
They
hear
won't.
this.
Okay.
We have a trip planned to Australia next year.
What next year?
Yep,
Oh,
next
okay.
year,
I thought it was
February.
gonna be like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
We-
February's like upcoming
Yeah.
next year. It's
Yeah,
not
it's-
even like
it's
not even
not
that
that
long
far
ago.
off, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
We're under 200 days. So we do a vacation, and we've been doing vacations as a family, and we love doing it. Our kids all hang out. So we're going to Australia, and we haven't told the kids where we're going yet. And finally I caved, and I'm like, all right, I'll tell them. But they're going to have to guess. Now, they have guessed every single
lot.
place except
Really?
for Australia.
How many
Yeah.
guesses do you give? 2? Like that?
Well, they've been guessing, and nobody has said Australia.
Yeah.
Carson asked me the other night, Dad, just tell me what continent it's on. I'm like,
I'm sorry, I can't.
I can't do that.
It's
No.
one of the 7.
no.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we told them, we said, okay, we're going to let you guys guess. I'm going to bring prune juice to the table. You guys are going to have shot glasses.
And every time you get it wrong.
Every time you get it wrong, the 4 of you take a shot of prune juice.
Ugh.
So we could have a
a
pretty
disaster.
awesome evening tomorrow night. So
Yeah.
we'll
You have
see what
4 kids?
happens. Well, two and two.
Oh, very good.
They're
very
identical.
Good.
It's
They are
really
oddly identical.
odd.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. I'm all in. This is going to be awesome.
Great.
Are they all taking a shot or do we rotate?
Every time that
we rotate?
Nope. They guess together and then they all take a shot.
So it's like a team.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a bar trivia.
They're all in.
Where there's
They're all
only
in it
one
together.
answer.
And I'm gonna
And
leave
it's not
it warm.
fun.
Too.
I
It's
mean,
gonna
what
be
a
warm prune
what a
juice.
good
Warm. I don't know. Warm prune juice and cold. It doesn't sound any
Warm will
as
get through
appealing
ya.
or less appealing to
Warm
me.
will get through you a little quicker.
Okay.
I only
Okay.
drank my prune juice over ice.
Yeah. On the rocks. Shaken, not stirred.
Levity Theater. So
Oh, hey!
Let's get
Is that
back
why
to
we're
this.
here? Fantastic. Hi, thanks for being here.
So how many people do you have on Levity Theater?
Yeah, so we so basically to come back to our history. So I came and I moved here in September of 2021, and I started teaching classes in December of 2021. So just a few months. I got married in November, so that's why I didn't start earlier. So
Congratulations.
thank you very much. Basically, I started teaching improv in around here in December, and basically through the process of that class and a few more, I have collected improvisers, and so I've just taught them how to be good. And so basically over the course of a few years, we have now a group of 13 improvisers. We've had some who've had to step away and join the team, so it's kind of a rotating cast, but we have a few people who are consistent. Derek Jones, the LDS member,
right on.
who's very funny.
Yeah,
Just for the record.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's one of the funniest guys I ever worked with was LDS. And like his radio traffic, he was a cop. I mean, just perfect.
Subtle.
Just subtle. Like, for example, I'll give you one that he used to do all the time. We had this like dam overtime. It's a physical dam that we would go work at that held back water. And he would get on the air and he'd be like, yeah, I'm 10-8 for that dam detail. And he'd say it like just like that. And you're like, fucking golden, man. Just gold. Dispatch is trying not to laugh. Everybody else is laughing. It's a good time. So anyway, I digress.
Great.
Sorry.
No, great. Thank you.
So 13 people.
So yeah, we have about 13 people on our team, and we meet on a weekly basis, and we do weekly shows. So the types of shows we do are different. There's the Who's Line type show. So for those who don't know, there's two major camps of improv. There's short form improv and long form improv. Short form is more of the gamey type, like a short 5-minute scene that has rules. So for example, there's a game called New Choice, and in that game, two people are doing a scene, and there's also some sort of director, and they ding a bell and they say new choice. So if they were saying something like, I love bananas, new choice. I hate bananas, new choice. I wish my mom loved me more. So you have this thing where you are having them and making them make a new choice or a different choice, and they have to roll with that, whatever it is, and justify it within the scene. So that's an example of a short form game where it has specific mechanics that you explain to the audience and the players know how to play, and then you do a scene and then that's over. Long form, on the other hand, is more of a continuous thing. So instead of a bunch of small little bits where there are set rules, you kind of discover what the rules are of the scene and try to figure out what is the comedic engine that is making this funny. Long form is when you do learn how to be funny, and it's not trying to be funny, it's about learning how to be funny as a group, not trying to just say the funniest thing, right? And long form can also encompass you usually get 1 or 2 suggestions for the entire show, and that's what inspires the whole thing. So for example, we have an improvised musical that we do, where
Ooh, that's tough.
It's fun. It's freaking great. I love it.
That gives me anxiety thinking about having to perform in that.
You should come see it. It's awesome.
I'm going
dude,
to.
the last one that we did was freaking nuts. It was very, very, very fun. But no, basically, me and Derek Jones, he's very funny.
Very funny, Derek Jones.
Yes. So yes, more he and I we do the musical, so it's just the two of us, and then Paul Baldwin, he plays piano, so he's making up.
Wait, are you literally making up songs?
Yeah.
Oh my.
So yeah, it's an improvised musical. So we get one suggestion from the audience at the very beginning, and we do an 1.5-hour musical inspired by that. And so
1.5 hours?
Yes, with like a 10 to 15-minute intermission. So yeah.
Okay, so I never did that. That's impressive.
Insane, dude.
You're blowing my mind right now with an hour. So it's just the two of you for an hour and a half?
Yeah. So it's me, Derek, and Paul Baldwin, who does piano. So he's improvising all of the music while we are improvising all the lyrics and songs, and also all the characters and the story and
Get the
just
hell
everything
out of
out.
here.
So,
That's intense.
Yeah, it's fun. So it's very, very good. We're doing one in September. I don't have a date set yet.
Give
but
us
we
the
will
date.
I'll get it to you.
Go ahead.
Do you have that recorded?
Not that one. We have one of them. It wasn't as good. So I won't send it
An
to you.
hour and a half is intense, dude.
Yeah, no, it's
I
fun.
mostly did short form.
Yeah.
Like an
Yeah.
hour and a half is crazy.
Yeah. So we get one suggestion and then we create the whole thing from the top of our heads. So it's a lot of fun.
Do
And
you charge for this?
we do. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So our tickets are $16 for an adult. That's all fees included, so no hidden fees because it's illegal to do now. And then we have tickets for kids ages 6 to 17 for $11 online, and there's a $4 surcharge if you don't buy it ahead of time. And then children 5 and under are free.
Does any of that go to the Presbyterian Church?
No.
Okay.
No. Just so we're covering our bases.
Yeah.
I pay the Presbyterian Church nothing except for rent. They do charge me to use the space. But
Is there a scenario where we could have Dave join you guys as a fundraiser that we could then donate to a good cause in town?
for sure,
that a
we
scenario?
love doing fundraising
Because
things.
he will bring a lot of people.
Oh,
there.
man.
Great, yeah.
And I would be in the crowd. I would be
I would be in the crowd.
center.
Yeah.
In the crowd, providing excellent and
goodness.
appropriate ideas.
And appropriate ideas.
And
Yes.
yes,
Yeah. It's not going to be a kind of like, give us a scene. Be like, Germany, 1942.
Yeah, like, oh,
that's
well,
going to be this guy.
Okay, that's
Well,
fun.
okay.
Yeah.
Funny thing, actually, in a couple of shows ago, we were doing a game called. It doesn't matter what it's called, but basically, 2 people were playing characters, and I asked for like the name of a character, and someone said Stitch, and I was like, Stitch from like Lilo and Stitch, which are you guys familiar with?
I am. Yes.
Yeah, and so basically, he was like Stitch, and I was like, okay, and then I was like, what's a setting? And then someone said Germany, he said World War II, and so then we saw a scene where Stitch was in the trenches of World War II
Ooh.
with a German, and it was freaking hilarious. It was so funny. The guy who did it was he was like, it's me. He was like, die, and it was so funny. And I actually will explain the game now. It was a game called Swap Switch, which basically is a 2-person scene played with 4 different improvisers, where basically when you say swap, then the 2 improvisers who are currently in the scene switch playing characters. So one player is playing Stitch, one player is playing the German, and so if I say swap, then it switches. So now this improviser is playing Stitch and this player is playing
man.
German. And then if I say swap, then it swaps back. If I say switch, then the improvisers that are on the wings switch to the center. And now you have the people who are off the sides now playing Stitch and the German, and if I say swap, then they play. So every single improviser is playing each of the characters at one
my
point.
gosh.
And through the series of the game, it builds and it gets faster and faster. And so at the beginning, you just see like a couple swaps and switches, and then by the end of it, you're going swap, switch, swap, switch. It's so fun. One of my favorite games, honestly.
That is hilarious.
We'll probably play it tonight. So we have a show tonight too.
Oh, yeah, it's Friday.
It's a short form show.
Oh, really?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, yeah.
So it's every Friday.
Every Friday, and sometimes they're on Saturdays because we like to offset them for people who can't make it on Fridays. So
What time?
7 p.m. So
7
it's
p.m.
always every
How
single
long
week.
do they run?
An hour and a half.
Okay.
So yes.
Dude, I am so in. I want to come see. So I want to take Carson to one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Carson would love it. I don't
Yes.
know Carson, but
Yeah.
I'm positive.
Yeah, I think we should have him drink 32 ounces of prune juice prior to
And
it.
then
That's a
go.
really good
You
idea.
have to make it all the
Yes.
way through this.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
I don't want to give you any ideas because I don't know anything, but I think just being up there drinking 32
juice?
ounces of prune juice and then see who leaves the stage first.
I think that would definitely
Might
be
do well.
That could do that. As soon as you said it, I thought that would be a
Yeah.
fun premise for a show. A stupid premise that I don't want to be a part of, but it would be fun.
You're welcome to steal any ideas related to a clean and dry butthole, Metamucil, or prune juice because we haven't trademarked any of that, so it's all fair game.
Speak for
bro.
yourself, Seth. He's working on it. Patent pending.
Might be there.
Yeah.
That's why we don't give me tequila.
No, that's why I do give you tequila and then I just tee it up.
So
Yeah, you just go on a rampage trying to patent every single thing.
he
you
loves it.
I
So tell me about this. What is, I remember, a lot of the games, like a game that we love to play that people like to play, playing hands. You guys still play hands?
We haven't played hands for a long time, but we have a game called Mannequins, which is similar.
Okay.
So Hands, for those who don't know, is basically a game wherein there's a 2-person scene happening, and and either two other improvisers or audience members put their hands through kind of like your armholes or whatever, and then they act as your hands while you're doing the scene, so they can do whatever. Usually it's another improviser, because then they can put their hands in your mouth and it's fine. But we have a game called Mannequins that we do play, where basically there's two improvisers, they're doing a scene, and they cannot move. All they can do is talk and emotionally react. That is their entire thing that they can do. The way that they move is by the audience member. An audience member comes up, and they can puppet the different improvisers. So that's another way to do it, and that one's a lot of fun. We performed at the North Idaho Fair last year, and we played that, and it was really, really fun because they didn't give us a stage, they gave us a dance floor. And I was fighting for a stage this year, and they said, I can't give you a stage, I'll give you a dance floor. So we'll be on the dance floor again at the North Idaho Fair if you guys are going to be there on the 16th and the 25th, 4th. I don't know.
What day were you
We're
going to be up there?
I can't remember.
We're on the schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah, but basically but we were playing this game Mannequins, and we like to stay kind of front and center in front of the audience, so we're not too far away, so that the audience can hear us and all that stuff. But there's this one kid playing Mannequins with kids is so fun, because they always do not respect your boundaries. So so this one kid actually we got two kids, and they were both they like made us run all the way off of the slab of the dance floor, and we were still doing the scene from there, and we ended up like in the middle of the walkway, but we couldn't leave because they said. And then we did make some sort of comment like, man, if only I was closer to the dance floor, maybe I could love you more or something. And then they ended up helping us out and moving us there. But no, that game is very, very fun.
It was fun. It's hard because, man, you're trying to, we'd be given a scene like, you're diffusing a bomb or something, and you're sitting there and you got other hands and you're trying to speak and say what you're trying to do, but the hands are kind of leading you, and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's gold.
And so but it's neat when you have those games, because you have four people, right? And your hands may be leading, you may be leading with your voice, and the hands may be following. Like, you never know where it's going to really end up. But yeah, those are fun games. Have you guys ever thought about doing like 2-hour events for groups, where, let's say, like a group like our team, right?
We got like team building.
We got 10 people, and it's a team building.
Yeah,
that's
another thing we do.
You teach for like 30 minutes, kind of some improv, kind of do's and don'ts, and you kind of walk through some stuff, and then you give them some games to play. With one another.
Oh, David, you've given me an idea.
I think it would be really cool. I think that would be something that people pay to go on that boat and pedal around and drink.
Yeah.
Just the opportunities to be together as a team and do team building.
Yeah.
I think that would be a fun one for people to do.
that is something that we offer. We do corporate team building and training, and then we also do corporate shows and entertainment. So doing like Christmas parties and stuff like that.
We need to do some social media with our team.
I think it would be great. How much do you guys charge to do like team building and stuff?
So it varies depending on group size, but we usually charge about $50 per person.
Okay.
We don't do anything for under than $500. So that's starting rates.
Yeah.
But yeah, it changes depending on, and if there's a very big team of like 30 people, then we have to bring other staffing on to help like orchestrate and all that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That would be a fun video to do.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I would have a great time.
Can you imagine Big John?
John gets into it.
He gets into it.
John would be great at improv.
But Big John in the Sasquatch suit. Have you seen Big John on our team?
I don't know who
that
Big
becomes
John is.
slightly R-rated sometimes.
He's 6'5", I don't know.
6'5",
But
okay.
with the Sasquatch suit on, which is a very realistic Sasquatch, we spared no expense for this Sasquatch suit. And he embodies the Sasquatch when he puts it on.
That's
He's
great.
then 7 feet tall.
He's very different.
Yes. And you're right. He does get a little inappropriate. I know it's weird, but he's not an inappropriate human being. But he becomes the Sasquatch. And so we've got a American flag like bikini bottom that he wears. What's a men's version of a bikini bottom?
A Speedo?
Yeah, thank you.
There you go.
He wears that. It's freaking cool.
That would be a lot of fun to do something like that.
Yes.
I think that's an awesome opportunity for teams to get together, because you know what? The neat thing about doing stuff like that is it kind of brings people out of their shell. It makes them kind of work together, but also it's totally different than all the other team building things that you do, right?
Right. And if you laugh together, that is like, there's two things that build bonds, and that's misery or laughter, I think. And obviously misery is not as fun, but
can be
true. Some of my best, like I can be funny. Some of my best material has been like in the oddest or the most dark moments. Like standing over a dead body, for example, and. Never mind, I won't tell you about that. But things like
sure.
that, or like So
in regards to team building too, I think the thing that I always say is what sets improv team building apart from any other team building is it's not me coming in and doing something cool or fun or whatever. It's me facilitating you guys to be clever and funny, and you guys being the star. And whether you are very shy and not very outgoing, or you are very outgoing, there is space for everyone to feel free to let their guards down and throw something out there. And so we really work on that.
Because there are people on our team, honestly, myself included, who'd be a little bit hesitant to go in and do that.
Yeah.
But like my wife for sure. But she would have so much fun. Like I know she would be dying laughing.
It is fun. And I think it's also it's how you present it. If you get people in there that have fun and they start going for it, people start getting comfortable.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
We did it home with our kids. I'm a terrible singer. Like I would never do your long form.
This is a good story.
I would never do your long form singing.
Improv?
I wouldn't do that. That'd be a bad thing. So we did this with our kids. If you're watching this, do this with your kids at home. This was amazing. Okay. So we got the Bose noise canceling. Headphones, right?
Yep.
So we decided one night, when you sing in your car or you got headphones on, you think you sound like Nate Smith. You're like, hell yeah, dude, I can do this.
Yeah.
You put me up on stage, I don't sound much like Nate Smith. So anyways, I'm like, why don't we do this? We're going to put a song on. Mm-hmm. You can pick the song. And you're going to put on the headset, and then you got to sing it. Okay? And we're going to turn the headset up loud. Now, we can't hear anything except for your voice. Mm-hmm. And we got up there and we started singing these songs. And I was so comfortable because I'm like, dude, I know I sound good. I know I sound good. My family, I'm looking at their faces and they're like,
horrified.
You are, I can't even believe it's coming out of you. And we did that. But, I did it. My kids got comfortable. My wife got up there. And next thing you know, I had my son and my daughter up there. My son especially, who would never sing like this in front of a bunch of people, even us. And he was up there singing songs. And he had no idea what he sounded like. And it was for every one of us, I'm like, we did not get the gene. Nobody got the singing gene.
I was going to say,
our family.
And then you crushed his soul and he'll never sing again.
He jumped back up there, dude. He saw us laughing and we even recorded each other and we're looking at it and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't share those
That's
videos.
right.
That was a good idea for you guys.
There's a similar there's a similar game that we play. Shoot, what is it called? Doesn't matter. But there's like a warm up game where everyone's in a circle, and what you do is you go out there and you start singing a song. Any song. It doesn't have to be an improvised song. It's like a real song that people know the lyrics to or whatever. And you just go out there and you just start singing it, and give it your all. And all the point of that game is throwing yourself out there, saying it, and then another part of it is you as the other fellow people, your other like partners and all that stuff, they go out there and they don't let you drown is the point of that. So putting yourself out there, but also expecting yourself to be saved because your partners have your back. And so you're going out there and you're singing, whether you're good at singing or not, and you're just hoping you don't forget the lyrics. And then someone else comes out and they start singing jingle bells, and then you're like, don't stop, believe, and then it just keeps going. And that one's a really fun one to, especially because like I teach.
So everybody's singing a different song?
Yeah, so not at the same time. So there's one person in the center and you're just going out there, you're being the one person who's singing a song with nobody else singing the song. Okay. And then anybody else will come out and take the lead, and they'll come out and they'll start singing a song, and then someone else will come out and you'll go back in the circle. So it's this trade-off, and you're really just trying to put yourself out there. And as just what you were saying, the more other people are comfortable with doing something silly, the more comfortable you will be doing silly. And that's the thing too, is if improv is something that scares you, you should definitely do it.
I think it is scary. They talk about, what is the statistic that people would rather die than public speak?
Yeah.
Like being in front of people, because everybody's seen a comedian fail, right? Like we were at one actually at Honey where a guy came up and started talking and we're like, oh, like, how do I get out of here? Like, you're trying to figure out how you can get out of there because you're so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like, this guy,
Yeah.
And so people are afraid of that, right? Like, if you say something that's supposed to be funny and it's not funny, it's like, oh, dude, that's a hit.
Yeah.
And so it is something. I think you have to check that, and you have to be able to, be accepting of it. And hey, like, not everything that I say is going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's just about building the scene.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one game that we do in the second day of intro, but it's the idea of spontaneity, which is the idea of just putting something out there. It's not about whether it's good. It's not being critical about it. It's about throwing something out there and committing to it, whatever. There's a game called 5 Things, and let's play it now. This is a super easy game. And basically the way that this works is I'll have you guys give me a prompt so I can do it first. But basically, Dave, I'll have you give me a prompt. It can be 5 ways of doing something, 5 new types of like shoes, new invention, new anything. And then basically you're going to give me a prompt, and then I'm going to say the first thing comes to my brain. Then everyone else will count. So if it was 5 new ways to skin a cat, you could say with a knife, and then everyone would say 1, and then I'd say with a toothpick, 2 in a microwave, 3 upside down, 4 with your mom, 5. So then basically you have you're counting together as we're building off of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the idea with this is don't think about it too hard. Just say the first thing that comes to your brain.
Is it things to do? Is it an action? Or
it can be an action. It can be an item. It can be literally 5.
So like 5 new species of insects.
Perfect. Great. The caterpillar. And then you say 1.
1.
Yes. The crawly boy.
2.
The small one.
3.
The giant one.
4.
My grandma.
5.
And then I'll give you a prompt,
Okay.
Seth.
Yeah.
Seth, give me 5 reasons why you don't want to do improv.
It's scary.
1.
I am not good at it.
2.
I'm too old.
3.
Dave will make fun of me.
4.
Maybe I'm better than Dave at it.
5.
That's a reason not to.
Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
Dave.
It is. He doesn't want to show you up.
Dave, give me 5 ways to die.
Oh,
Through a straw.
1.
Underwater.
2.
Falling from a hot air balloon.
3.
With a pen.
4.
Choking on a watch.
5. So yeah,
That's
See?
actually really fun.
yeah, it's a fun game.
It just gets your mind thinking.
It does.
It does. It's like good for the brain to get the old juices flowing. Do you believe that anybody has the ability
Yes.
to do improv?
Yep.
Anyone?
Yes. I have taught a lot of people with a lot of different things. There's been one type of person that cannot learn how to improv, and that's narcissists.
Oh.
And because because improv is 90% listening and 10% saying something or doing something. A lot of narcissists, especially if they're very confident, they can get up there and they can improvise and they can say something funny or do it, but they can't work well with others or take constructive criticism. And if you can put yourself aside and being willing to accept criticism, you can do improv 100% as long as you have a good teacher. But those are the only people, and I've only taught a couple who I would consider unteachable. And even still, they can do it for a little bit, but their growth stops as soon as they feel like they're good enough, if that makes sense. And that makes it very difficult for them to get better or do it. So even those people can do improv, but they're hard to improvise with because it's like have you guys seen The Office?
Michael Scott.
Yeah, the Michael Scott improv, the whole
It's his favorite show.
with the gun. Yes.
And
And
whispers
so
in his ear. What did you just say? I have a gun.
he's a gun. He's a gun. So yeah, that's I think a really good example. Every single scene he comes in and he brings a gun. Because also what he says about improv, which is why it's so funny because improv, when done poorly, is some of the hardest stuff to watch. Which is why I'm so passionate about doing good improv. We do very good improv because I care about it too much for people to continue to think that it's a bad art form. But the Michael Scott thing, for those who don't know, he's in an improv class and he always brings a gun into the scene. And what he says off like to the side, he goes, I always bring a gun in because you can't beat a gun. You can't beat a gun. And it's like people with that mentality of like, I'm here to win or be better or be funnier.
Yep.
Those are the people who are not going to get very far because people don't want to work with you.
It's a collective. If you're looking
yes.
at, if you say that guy is the funny one and nobody else is getting it, then it's not. It's not funny.
Yep.
It is
exactly.
100% a collective, a group.
It's a team
art.
sport.
Right.
Team sport.
Yep. That's what I was saying.
It very much is. And like, I love the fact that you were talking about, like, that no is not the answer, right? It's you run with it. You create a scene and like, okay, it may not be your scene or something that you're into, but that's how you continue to build on it.
That refers back to the yes and.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, you got it.
There we go.
Look at
I'm
you.
listening.
Yeah. Active listening.
Yeah, 90%.
That's what we teach.
90%.
Yeah, look at that.
See?
90%. You don't have to take notes.
No, man.
One, you got to record it. Two, you got it in your brain.
My mind's like a steel trap.
Yeah, look at that.
Ish.
Steelish trap.
So, do you hold auditions, or how do people become part of Levity if they want to?
Great question. So yeah, there's a couple different things. First thing I always recommend is because we have a unique, specific style of improv that's kind of it's a different style of improv than a lot of other people do. And so if you want to get on a Levity team, my suggestion is always start with just intro to improv. So start with our intro class, and then we try to have, after we do a few sessions of classes, we do auditions. So then you can come in, audition, and then we see if you're a good fit, and then you get on the team.
Do the classes cost at all to do?
They do, yeah. So we have in the past done 8-week structures and 4-week structures. We're moving back to a 4-week class structure starting in September 3rd. When is this episode going to be out, do we think? Do we know?
Probably the beginning, mid-September.
Okay, great. So classes have already started.
Yes.
But we're moving back to a 4-week class structure, so we'll probably have another one that starts in October.
Okay.
So, yeah, basically it'll be a 4-week class, so 4 weeks, and then those are $80. So, which is pretty good for hour and a half, 4-week sessions.
Do you have all ages there currently?
Yeah, so right now, in regards to the content for our actual shows, it's good for all ages all the time. And the classes are for ages 16 plus. So.
Okay. Do you have any older folks like our age that go?
Oh,
or
goodness.
Older?
Yeah, I think the oldest I had, they were 85.
No, that's so cool.
It was an old couple. It was really cool. I loved them. And the unfortunate thing is they couldn't come to classes anymore because they weren't allowed to drive at night anymore.
Oh,
no.
I thought
that would be even more sad.
More tragic, yes.
Yes. But no, they were really, really great. But yeah, I should reach out to them. Just say hi.
You should. So you just sparked that in your brain.
Yeah.
I had another question related to that. That ages slipped my mind.
So people can join.
Yes.
Best things to go through the
classes.
What did you call it?
Classes?
No. What is the name? You said it was something, an intro class?
Improv basics.
Intro to basics? Okay.
Intro to improv or improv basics. Yeah.
How can they find that? Is that on your website?
Yep, levitytheatre.com, and that's with an R-E. But it can also be
the British way.
The British spelling?
Yeah, it's the British way.
British.
Or the Canadian way.
I don't know what accent
I believe you have to
say
say it
British.
theater.
British.
Theatre.
British. What accent is that? Am I saying that? I'm saying that with Irish.
What?
British.
That's Irish.
That's
Irish.
Way off.
An Irish
That's
accent
Irish.
to say
You're way
British.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Are y'all on the socials as
We
well?
are, yes, at Levity Theatre with an R-E.
I'm going to check it out. I'm
Levity,
excited.
At Levity. I'm writing this down. We will put this in the
show notes
so y'all can find it at Levity Theatre. Where do you see this going? What's the goal, man? Are you just living in the moment?
The goal,
like
that, yeah.
I
but
picked
also
that up too.
The goal is to have an actual venue and to create a venue in downtown where it's just a cool space to be. Because I came from a professional improv theater, and right now we're doing shows in the gym of a church, and it's not my ideal setup. But
have you looked at other towns? Doesn't Post Falls have like an art center?
The Jack Miller Center?
Yes.
Yes, that's actually where we started doing shows.
Okay.
It is very big and very echoey and not good for comedy. So we moved closer to Coeur d'Alene.
So is your plan to have like a theater and then like a black box or something else like that? Do it? Okay.
Yeah,
What's a black box?
A black box is just like a smaller theater that usually has more customization.
Oh, so instead of saying just a smaller theater, then you said that.
I feel like you were trying to poke at us, but you're the one who's in the wrong here.
I am 100%.
Yeah.
Damn it, you're like getting my game and shooting right back at me.
Sorry about that.
I shouldn't try to play games with a dude that's quick on his feet.
No.
Man.
Okay.
The goal is to have and create a venue not just for comedy, but a live music venue,
Right.
a live other stand-up. So
Coeur d'Alene is lacking that. We've
yes,
talked
it
about
is
this before.
the thing that we're missing.
Yeah.
And every single person, I put a poll out on a Facebook group, the Coeur d'Alene community, and I asked if there was one thing that you would want in downtown, what would you want? And the top thing that every single person who voted on the poll said
Black
was
box.
an entertainment venue. But I'm working on it. There's the old Roxy building downtown, if you guys are familiar, and it's an old theater. And it's 11,000 square feet, so it's massive. But there's a guy that I met recently who has had this vision for a multi-purpose art center called The Lab, the local arts building. And so he and I have kind of been working on trying to obtain that building and build it. But he has a couple people that he's working with. He has an architect, contractor, and someone who does fundraising for stuff. So if they're in, then we're probably going to go for it. And the idea is to create this multi-purpose venue.
Roxy Building sounds familiar, but that's big. Where is that?
It's in downtown on 4th Street. It's right next to, you know where the corner store is off Sherman
Yes.
and 4th? It's like right across the street and down toward McEwen a little bit.
There's a 11,000 square foot building there?
Yeah.
Yeah. As an upstairs and downstairs, 5,000 square feet.
It's
and
right
cool,
across
4,000.
from it. Used to be like a game center, right?
Yeah, it used to be a virtual reality
That's
place.
a great spot, and that's what I was going to bring
Yes.
up.
Yeah, and it's a historic
That would be a
building.
good spot.
The cool thing about Coeur d'Alene is there used to be three, well, kind of a cool thing. There used to be 3 theaters in downtown Coeur d'Alene. There's only one left, and it's that building. And so we really want to get that building, but we need to convince the owner to
What's
let us be in
the capacity of a show in there?
in the Roxy?
Yeah.
Well, so it'll depend on how. So basically, we're going to take the building, we're going to subdivide it so that there's separate little spaces.
Okay.
But I think we're going to try to go for as many as we can, but certain capacity rules for fire and restrooms.
I would even caution
and stuff.
against that, honestly, and here's why. Coeur d'Alene is kind of a niche community.
Yeah.
It's very, it's one of the places that when people move here, they're like, man, I love how tight knit it is, how small it is. And I don't know, just being honest, I don't know how much people would want a very large venue, but I think something that could fit 100 people, 200 people max.
That would be the space.
It would be
maximum 200.
intimate enough,
Yep.
right, to where you don't have parking issues and all this stuff because you have freaking 10,000 people somewhere, right?
Yep.
So having that smaller, more intimate community, I think would be awesome. And the cool thing is, when you go to Improv or you go to something like that, you could stay for the second show.
Yep.
It's going to be completely different.
Yep.
It's going to be a completely different show. It's not going to be the same jokes, might be the same games, but it's going to be completely different. So I think that would be
That's the range that we were
Cool.
looking for.
That's a good size.
I was thinking either like a 99 seat theater or
that would be perfect.
because 99 seats you don't have to do bathrooms. You have less bathroom restrictions and fire restrictions. So
Dude, 99 is
99 is
perfect.
probably what we're going to end up doing. But the thing is, if you have more capacity, you can make more money, which is a important thing when you're trying to stay afloat.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a few different things that we're looking into, but basically subdividing it, and the top section would probably be a little coffee shop during the day, and at the night you would go around, and then there would be a section where it's the theater, and then the basement would be kind of an art collective type space where you have a bunch of different spaces. So like an art center and a small little black box theater that has like 50 seats or something for student showcases and things like that. Then like a podcast recording studio, which was an idea that we had. And then having a little dance studio or something. So classrooms and things like that. So that's kind of the vision. And so we don't know if that's going to happen, but
would you guys be doing a podcast?
I don't think I would be doing a podcast.
Well, if you end up putting a podcast in there and it just so happens to be one that has a glass window onto the street, let us know. That's always been my dream, to put this to where we can actually record live and be right downtown, and people can walk by and actually see a podcast going. It'd be cool.
That's something we'll take into consideration when we're making the plans.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll support you, man. I think this is pretty cool, and I'd love to do the team building thing at some point. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a lot of fun.
I have an admission to make. When we scheduled this, I was like, I don't know how this will go. It's not my world. I knew you'd be excited about it.
I love it. I didn't even know this was what it was.
Yeah. But you know
His
what?
first reaction when he sent it to me, he said, Dave did improv in high school. I'm sure this will be fun.
You remember. But you know what? Like, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
It's been really cool.
We do a lot of our shows tend to be from the first responder veteran world. There's often a dark side to it, right? Because you're dealing with PTSD, things like trauma, all of that stuff. So it's nice to have a podcast episode with a little bit of levity.
Yeah, I knew you were going with that. Yeah.
You saw it coming.
Yeah.
Smart.
I was thinking the same thing.
Smart. So thank you, man. Let's wrap it up. We've been rocking for an hour.
Nice.
We would love to help support you because I think you're doing a really cool thing, and you have a good energy. So thank you for that.
Right on. Noah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Levity Theater, check them out. We'll put the info in the show notes so you guys can find it.
Yep.
And we're gonna get Dave there.
Yeah.
As a fundraiser.
Yeah.
I can't wait. All right. Later.
Bye.
Thanks.